Okay, sir, I will just... very warm welcome to all for the second lecture in our course. This lecture will be given by Dr. M.V. Deshpande from Green Venture Company. And the introduction of Deshpande sir will be given by Dr. Dake Falkar. After his introduction, we can get into the lecture. Thanks. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Dr. Karthik. It is a wonderful pleasure for me to introduce Dr. M.V. Deshpande. Dr. M.V. Deshpande, I have known him for decades and decades, for a very long time. First time I heard of him was when I was a student of Abbasab Garware College, and he was one of the illustrious alumnus of Garware College even in those days. He had given us a couple of lectures also. I don't know whether he remembers that or not, but that was the first time when I saw him. And my first encounter with him was in 1988. I was a budding research student. I can say I had got a fellowship, and I approached him whether he could accept me as a PhD student. And very promptly, efficiently, and within no time at all, he rejected me. So that is how I met him the first time. But over the years, we developed a terrific friendship. He has been a friend and mentor for me, a guiding force as well. There are so many facets of his personality that I can always discuss, and I want to keep it very informal. He has been with NCL for almost all through his career, and obviously he has been a scientist over there. But the most important part about his is, even though he is PhD, he is the first and probably the only BSc in microbiology, at least in Pune. And we have seen in Maharashtra also that not many people can boast of having DSc in microbiology, and that is something that he has done. He pursued it on his own and relatively late in his career, and that speaks a volume about him, that even though he is a very well established scientist, I believe that he considers himself as a student of science even today. Along with science, he has several hobbies. He is a terrific badminton player, and we have had quite a few memorable matches on badminton court. Again, I must admit, most of the time he ended up winner, and I ended up giving him a cup of coffee, which has been always the case. But he also is a very good musician. He is a very avid nature lover, terrific photographers, and every time there is an occasion, you will see him sharing photographs, and most of those photographs are so good that you believe that there cannot be a better photograph, and next day there will be a photograph which will be even better than the previous one. He is a wonderful human being, blessed with terrific sense of humor. So it is always good discussing with him science, administration, even the social events, anything. And he has a knowledge of everything, and he will always talk about it. But more than that, also, he is a terrific scientist. And I would say that there is another part of his personality which is coming up. He is going to be even better entrepreneur. His journey has been very interesting. He has taken concept right from the reading the research papers, coming up with a new idea, developing proof of concept, translating into the field implementable technology, purchasing that technology from his parent institute, implementing it in the field, and in the form of or in the role of entrepreneur, now taking it to the customer. It would be an interesting journey hearing from him. So let's not waste any time and look forward to listen to Dr. M.V. Deshpande. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Prashant, actually, for your kind introduction. Actually, it is not kind. Actually, the first couple of sentences somehow disturbed me quite a lot. But anyway, I mean, that thing has happened. Shall I share my presentation and then start talking?
Yes, sir. Please.
That would be really nice.
I will share. शेअर करू ना आणि प्रेझेंटेशन
Yes, sir. It's visible. So please.
Okay. Okay. So at the outset, I would like to thank organizers from both Agarkar Research Institute as well as PKC. This is a joint venture, and I'm really thankful to them that they have invited me for this lecture on entrepreneurship. Actually, whenever you start any business, that business, if it survives for 1,000 days, we can say that, yes, we have done something and we can go ahead with this type of business. And fortunately for us, we survived 1,000 days or more than that. Actually, COVID-19 tried its level best to stop us progressing, but somehow we managed to survive. And now, today, I'm here with you to discuss about my journey as an entrepreneur, from laboratory to for the commercialization and for the society. I'm sure that in a couple of years, Greenvention Biotech will come here again to give a talk as one of the leaders in developing products for the organic farming. And I hope that will come soon. So, okay, just briefly, I want to give the idea about my journey. I joined National Chemical Laboratory in 1976, long back. I did my PhD there only in biochemistry. And I was always fascinated by this sentence, which is there in the porch of the main building. The purpose of this laboratory is to advance knowledge and to apply chemical science for the good of the people. And I try to maintain that one with me. And I thought that maybe one day I will also do same thing for the good of the people. Actually, most of the research laboratories, they have 5 P's for APAR, that is appraisal: publications, patents, projects, popularization of science, paisa. But sometimes they do not consider this product development or the process development. And that is one of the important things for the research institute nowadays, to go for the technology development per se. Now, when we talk about your publication, at least there are minimum 4 readers. One is editor, 2 are reviewers, and maybe sometimes you read your paper so yourself. Maximum few hundreds. How many people use your patent? Of course, most of the time it is none. What is the outcome of the project? We usually write project completion report, and that's all. How much time your popular lecture or article has impact? Not more than 24 hours. How much paisa you brought? From government, substantial, but industrially, practically nil. So all these aspects for the research institute, sometimes though these aspects, they give you APAR excellent, we really do not know whether it is useful for the society or not. So how many people can use your product or process? On the other side, thousands or more than that one people can use your products. So that means research institute should have that sort of mandate. Now, when I joined the NCL, all the time, as I mentioned, that I was trying to think about the basic science as well as the applied science. And I found that there were very big stalwarts in biochemistry like Dr. Jagannathan, Dr. Shivraman, Dr. Sadana, my guide. Then in organic chemistry, Dr. Sukhdev was there, Dr. Isti Bhattacharya. All these big people, they used to do science for science, not for any awards or rewards. Actually, award science started around 1990, where the people started working based on which award they want to apply for. But I had one idol. I mean, this one I have not shared with anybody, but this is for the first time I am getting this opportunity to share with you that my idol was Dr. Rabindranathan. He was from organic chemistry, very good scientist, worked in a big lab in USA and in NCL also, and one of the best organic chemists. And he had his own company. And that idol was there in front of me, that I thought that maybe I should have that sort of company eventually after doing basic science. But it doesn't mean that I was not interested in basic science. So this slide, which at present I am projecting is old slide. It is in 2004. I made this slide. I sent to our then director, and about my basic research, what will be the commercial potential of this basic research, maybe in agriculture, the way that this host pathogen interaction, how one can do basic research, and how application can be done under biological control, what is the commercial potential, etc. Under healthcare, maybe using these fungal organisms, I can understand the eukaryotic differentiation process, which is useful for the developing different antifungal drugs, anti-cancer drugs, etc. And under this applied science, novel antifungal strategies we can develop using different targets, etc. So I was very clear that I have these two streams. One is the basic research in agriculture, basic research in healthcare, and applied research in agriculture, as well as applied research in human health curve. When I say that applied research, that is the having immediate application. So it is not that this is my retirement plan. Entrepreneurship is not a retirement plan, that now what should I do after my retirement. It is not like that. I was dreaming for entrepreneurship right from the beginning, and that's why I thought that maybe I should show you this slide, but somehow it did not materialize that time. And now I'm fortunate enough that because of Dr. Santosh Tupai, it has materialized. All this work which I have started in agriculture, I should thank Indo-Swiss collaborative program. And because of them, I started working on this different aspects of biocontrol, etc. So now, whenever you have some concept or whenever you have some idea, what are you going to do? So initially, what I thought that maybe I have a couple of ideas about the say enzymes which are important in the degrading fungal cell wall, etc. Then I approached to different companies like Camson India and others. And yes, we had discussion, but I was not very, very much interested in having collaboration with them. But somehow they also did not want to take up this enzyme work, etc. So that was the thing which I always used to try for my different products or the processes. And even once I found that the repeated subculturing of different organisms, they lose their main characteristics. Say, for example, in case of metarhizium, I found that the repeated subculturing is losing, the organism is losing its virulence, that is the metarhizium. Then I thought that maybe can we have some sort of biodiversity park where crop is present, insect pest is present, and this organism is also present in soil. And as it is having the interaction that insect and fungus, maybe this organism can remain virulent all the time. See, because that is the main concern in the commercial preparation of any myco-insecticide or any fungal product, that the most of the time we supply saprophytic organism, not the virulent organism. And then eventually we don't get results in the field, and eventually we find that our biocontrol agents, they get bad name. So, I mean, I thought that maybe we should have some biodiversity park. I presented this idea to DBT, and DBT principally approved. That time, Professor S.N. Puri was the chairman of this committee, and he approved this idea. Yeah, this is a very good idea. You should go with it. But unfortunately, because of some funds constraint in that DBT for agriculture, or that there are different priorities, we could not take up this idea of biodiversity park. So my suggestion is that whatever idea you have, you can just find the path for its application, etc. Now, startup by professor and startup by young researcher. I mean, finally, the motivation is same for both. It is the problem solving. You go for the problem solving. People will approach to you and you can solve their problems. Creativity. And that is one thing which is important in any startup, that you should have your own something which other people cannot think about. As aesthetics, that is elegant solution for the complex problem. And I'm happy to share this information that for the first time, we have developed one enzyme-based wide-spectrum biocontrol agent which can be used in a single crop system to control all the pests and pathogens. We did trials with different industries also, agriculture industries, and that is having research fields. And we found that this enzyme complex is controlling, say, for example, in grapes, it is mealybug, thrips, jassids, as well as the pathogens like powdery mildew, downy mildew, etc. So, like that, and DBT, I supported this idea very much. They even did toxicological studies of our sample, etc. And now they are rather pressurizing us that we should soon commercialize this product. So, this is the elegant idea or elegant solution. I thought, and rather we thought, whenever I say I thought, it is not only Mukund Deshpande, it is Santosh Tupe and Mukund Deshpande. The second, third thing, fourth thing is ego. That yes, I want to prove myself, and that is the one thing which is important. Society. When everybody talks about the society, whenever you get any award, you will talk, yes, I was dreaming that I should do something for society. Without getting award, I certainly say that I am dreaming for the society. That is I know that what are the farmers' problems. So that is society that one should think about this. Challenges, yes, end user is very choosy. End user is very troublesome actually. And that person can say, yes, this you have to prove that, yes, this is paid. So it is very difficult to work for the end user. So this is the science speaks when you have good product or something like that. So, and the final thing which I personally feel is that what is the motivation to me is that to give reply to people who think research institute is a white elephant. And it is not a generalized statement, but number of times I have found that in people's mind, they think that what they are doing. People are doing science, and when they do science, it is not necessary that immediately one can see the application, but common people do not understand that immediate application is not there. So maybe eventually we can see. But anyway, I just wanted to show that, yes, this is not white elephant. Number of good technologies we can develop, number of products we can develop, number of processes we can develop in the research institute. So main challenge for researcher to enter into entrepreneurship. That is the understanding of both the science behind this and the marketing opportunities. Now, it is very difficult for me to understand the marketing opportunities. Earlier, it was very difficult because I was distant. My distance between the marketing and myself was very long distance. But now, as I entered into this entrepreneurship, distance is not much. And now I can understand what is the marketing strategy, what are the marketing gimmicks we can do to promote our products, etc. So mentor, that is as age. By age, I can say that I am mentor, and but not advisor. Advisor will not come with you. Advisor will give only advice, but I am mentor for young entrepreneurs. What I want to do, even I can provide some initial funding also. That was I was thinking. And the main important thing why I started this venture is because I wanted to provide a platform for translational research in agriculture biotechnology. That is PTRAB. Actually, this idea was not again mine. I was having discussion with Dr. S.R. Rao from DBT, and he is the person. He said that we should have such type of platform for most of the young people because they have different ideas, but they cannot start or they cannot execute this idea and they cannot take this idea up to the market. So it is better that one should have that sort of platform. And I thought that as a mentor, I can have that sort of platform, and this company has this platform where we are doing our research and development projects also. We are giving service also, and we are trying to work with scientists, those who are having different ideas. Then usually the elderly person, mentor, he tries to prove himself, because number of times we find that we are doing research in the laboratory and after retirement you are just away from the research, etc. But my personal thinking is that it is not necessary that you should have your own thing every time, and you should plant the, you should not think that, okay, this is my plant and I should eat these fruits. It is not like that. Eventually, you can see the world through eyes of the young researcher. So this is win-win situation. You can be a mentor and you can have the partner who is young, and then success is yours. Now, which is your true north? Why I suggested this name? I mean, when Dr. Falkar asked me that, okay, you give a talk, then I thought that maybe what should be the aim of that talk? So I thought that maybe this title is good, which is your true north. There are two different areas in which biotechnology students, I think majorly young entrepreneurs are from biotechnology. There are two different areas. One is healthcare pharmaceuticals, and another is agriculture, wastewater treatment, etc. Now, healthcare pharmaceuticals are high value, low volume products, and while agriculture, wastewater treatment, etc., high volume, low cost products. Healthcare pharmaceuticals are individualistic, while agriculture and others are community-based. And success is defined in healthcare, while multiple factors are involved in agriculture. Now, just in a lighter note, in case of agriculture, success is yours. But if something goes wrong, you can say, oh, because of climatic conditions, nothing has happened in a proper way. So, but this is in a lighter condition. But I personally feel that agriculture is more challenging and healthcare is totally knowledge based. In agriculture also, it is knowledge is important, but challenging factors are many. Now, then I chose my north, that apply science for the good of the people, and organic farming or eco-friendly agriculture is the key, or could be my passion for the society, and I started working in this field. Now, one more aspect is that India is having diversity of climate. 35 different climatic zones are present in India, and we find that in the crop production, our different crops are there, and we find there are a lot of problems. And because of these problems, at least in 2019, we find 10,281 farmers committed suicide. This is Parliament report. Again, farmers are having problem of bankruptcy, family problems are there, farming related issues are there, where poor quality farm inputs, seeds, fertilizers, etc. Lack of education on best practices in farming, small farm sizes, which cannot, because of that one, farmers cannot afford mechanization, etc. So then in that case, can startups in agriculture change this scenario? So it is possible to change that scenario. So it all started in room number 1871, where I used to, I sat right from 1985 onwards to 2019 September. Earlier that we were in the main building. But in that room, in 2016, we thought that we have few patents, many publications on these aspects, 4 products ready for scale up and commercialization, like meta-rhizae manuscript, there is myco-insecticide preparation, cuticle degrading enzyme complex for the control of pest. Same thing just now I mentioned that it can be used to control fungal pathogens. Then fungal chitosan. This is again the new thing which I thought that maybe we should promote, that instead of marine chitosan, can we have fungal chitosan, which is having better impact in the healthcare. Then we have some chitosan-based fungicides also, essential oil and chitosan-based fungicide. So this type of products we were thinking, myself and Santosh, and we thought that maybe we should think about submitting application at least to DBT Bioreact for the support or for the ignition grant. It is a big grant. And we submitted that one, but somehow it did not materialize. And then, but still we thought that we should go ahead, and we have gone ahead in this direction. Now I want to give one case study, I can say, about the biopesticide or myco-insecticide. And why I chose this area, Actually, it is not chosen by me, but it is chosen by Indo-Swiss collaborative program in biotechnology, and they suggested that we should go with commercial production of mycoinsecticide. Now, what is the reason? Because India's agrochemical consumption is around 0.58 kg as compared to US 4.5 kg per hectare. But India land is more, so naturally our consumption is more. A chemical by 2022 chemical pesticide market could be around 66 billion US dollars. Total biopesticide market is almost 110, that is 6.6 billion US dollars, while mycopesticide market is only 0.66 billion. So when we see these figures, people are not very interested. But when we talk about the potential, you can see that mycopesticide market has potential almost 100 times. That is, we can reach sometime up to 66 billion US dollars. So this is the potential of market for mycoinsecticide. Now, there are shifting of types of expectations in biocontrol. Actually, when I am talking about mycoinsecticide, it started around 1900 or before that. That is microbe, that is fungus can interact with pest. But in between, because of the advent of chemicals, around 1940, everything stopped and people did not want to use these fungal organisms in the field. And chemicals used to give very good results, etc., fast results, but they did not understand that the pollution problems and toxicology, toxicity, etc. But in 1962, Rachel Carlson, she wrote one book on Silent Spring about the harmful effects of chemicals, and then eventually people started thinking about alternative for chemicals, and then another integrated pest management, eco-friendly approaches, organic farming, transgenic plants. Of course, now till today, there is no approval for the transgenic vegetables, etc., for various reasons in India. But at least transgenic cotton is there. Then geopolitical issues of pesticide industry acceptance around 2000 started. So eventually, this again they realized that they can support some biopesticides for their survival as a chemical industry. Then wide spectrum biocontrol agent around 2008. That is the first thing which I mentioned, that about the enzyme formulation, that people were thinking that in one single crop system, we should have single product which can be used throughout the crop cycle. So like that, these are the different developments. And then we thought that maybe we should use this microbial pesticides as a starting component as per our industry. Now, what is the selection of source? There are three different microorganisms. We can say bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Now, bacteria and viruses, they are effective in insect control by ingestion, but fungal organisms by contact. So naturally, selection of source was quite easy, that it is by contact. So we use the fungal spores. So organism selected is fungus. Novelty has wide spectrum. For example, enzymes can degrade cuticle as well as the fungal cell wall because the components are same, like chitin, protein, etc. So naturally, this is wide spectrum is a novelty. To increase efficiency, we can have enzyme inhibitors, because that is another line we all inhibitors. Inhibitors are non-toxic to human beings and plants because they don't have any chitin synthesis per se or chitin in their in the host. So we can target different enzymes essential for growth, differentiation, and virulence. So in that one, I don't want to give more details about this, but the chitin synthase, glutamate dehydrogenase are the enzymes which one can think about to develop antifungal compounds. As I mentioned, that metarhizium work started in but and eventually people started working on that for using, and then people realized that because of the chemicals.
Hello, I think we lost the speaker. Just hold on for a couple of minutes. Oh, yeah, he's back. Sir, you can go ahead. Sorry, we lost you for. few seconds.
Shall I share screen?
Yeah. Please share your screen and go ahead.
Okay. आता कसं घ्यायचं तिकडे हे बारीक कसं करायचं
Yeah, go ahead.
Now can you read that one?
Yes sir, absolutely. Yeah. You can go ahead.
Okay. Now I hope that earlier slides also were okay, or
no.
From this slide only that was problem.
Yeah, from this slide only. We just lost you for like 10 seconds.
Okay. So from journey from laboratory to farmers.
Yes.
This is the industries program which I got. It is almost for 11 years, and I'm really thankful to this program because that has given me confidence that yes, I can do something for the society. I can go with the farmers, and I can certainly develop a product. So there was phase 1, 2000-2004, where proof of concept research we did. Some number of students were there, and we collected so many organisms. Right now we have 30-40 metarhizium strains, Bevaria, Pneumonia, and others. Then in the second phase, we try to work with farmers, that is from laboratory field, where we demonstrated the proof of concept in the farmers participatory program. And the phase 3, that is in third phase, transferring microinsecticide technology to the private sector. But I worked with the industry, but again, but that much work was not sufficient. And the phase 4th is regulatory consideration, which is with Central Insecticide Board and farmers education. So this is the 4th phase. Maybe my thinking is that can we have do-it-yourself technology? Nowadays, number of people are trying to do something that in Marathi we say that is Bandhavarchi Sheti. So can we develop such type of technology? Eventually, this will be useful for society. And can we have new ventures along with this that are value addition to your mycoinsecticide, etc. So these were the 4 phases, and we sufficiently did good work on these lines. And the organism which we selected is working against so many insects, pests like gram-pod borer, Spodoptera litura, then mealybug, red cotton bug, woolly aphids, jassids, thrips, etc. So I found that this organism can be used for the commercialization as a microinsecticide. Now, innovation. What sort of innovation you can have in this? This solid state fermentation, for example, people used to do only on plates, grow the colony and then take out the spores. But here we have some different type of bags, unicorn bags, which is having the membrane, which is used for the gaseous exchange. And heat is also dissipated through this membrane. So naturally we use this bag, so our productivity is more. Harvesting of conidia, there are different types of harvester. We use earlier myco harvester, then we have vibro sifter also, even liquid extraction is also possible. So all these different things, for again when we talk about the commercialization, how to reduce down the cost, that is one thing. So this type of innovations we did, and they are working in the field. Now there are different types of spores, sprayers. One is a knapsack, which is usual sprayer in the field, and another one is ULV, that is ultra low volume sprayer. Now here the hitch is that when we suspend our conidia in say water along with wetting agent, we can use say this knapsack sprayer. But if we have conidia in water oil mixture, the diesel sunflower oil mixture, then we can have the ULV sprayer, ultra low volume, and the volume change is from 500 liter to the 5 liters. So this much type of volume change per hectare is seen. So naturally the labor cost is going down in that. Transsectoral issues. Actually, I was trying to promote this, that chemical versus food industry, because these microinsecticides, or for that matter, any microbial product is perishable, we can say. So can we have the such type of condition, food industry model, where we can have the expiry date not for 2 years, etc., but less than that one. Then farmers education, that is important. We used to go to farmers, and then we used to demonstrate that how to make these formulations, etc. And do it yourself approach, that can be think about. Now, Whenever we talk about any industry, these are the 4 points one has to think. That is the SWOT analysis. What is the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? And what are the threats? Scientifically developed process. Because when now again, this is I can say that this is my experience I'm sharing, as well as you take it in a lighter sense. When we submitted this project for the Indosys program, one of the DBT person said, "We have selected your project because it is less bad." I felt very bad about this. That his comment was not that much encouraging. But eventually, we got the support for 11 years, and we come out with the company, and we are producing that myco-insecticide. So less bad has come to the important knowledge-based product. So strength is knowledge-based product, and how that knowledge-based we'll discuss little bit later. Then high efficiency. That one also we are tested because our culture is more virulent, and virulence is the important aspect, and not the only viable conidia. It is the virulent conidia is important. Low treatment cost. Just now I mentioned about the UL sprayers, etc. Weaknesses: end use market has less product quality perception. And for that one, at present, we are working hard. Not for this product, but we have around 13 products. So we have to go to farmers, and our marketing team, as well as both of us, myself and Santosh, we go to farmers. We try to tell them about the products. Opportunities, it is growing market. Just now I mentioned that 0.66 billion US dollar can go up to 66 billion US dollars. So that is the opportunity for myco-insecticide. But what are the threats? As this is live culture, so any microbiologist can isolate that culture and can use. So, and more than 75% unorganized sector is present. And hurdle is of course central this type of these enzymes, and thus we can have the product which is having really a wide spectrum potential as a wide spectrum biocontrol agent in single crop system. We are working with Agriculture Research Institute with Nano Group along with Dr. Vandana, and in the earlier we have done some immobilization of this enzyme formulation in chitosan based nanoparticles as well as alginate based, and we found there is a differential immobilization are only on chitosan nanoparticles. So, I mean, this is just initial study, and eventually we are going to use this nanotechnology for in the field also, and this can give us cost-effective use of enzyme per se in the agriculture field. Another project which is there about the basic project is to understand the dimorphism in trying to do as a commercial venture of chitosan production using such type of fungal organism. And in addition to this, we are also trying different organisms, fungal organisms from the, say as fungal waste, we can say, whether it is wine industry or whether it is mushroom industry, we can use this waste for the isolation of chitin chitosan per se. Now, when we did this Greenvention Biotech, when we thought about this Greenvention Biotech, myself and Santosh, both of us came together, and as my age says, I'm mentor and Santosh is young entrepreneur, and both of us are working together. And I think this is the good combination where mentor is giving advice also and trying to use his experience for the development of the company, and young entrepreneur like Santosh, I mean, as usual, he is doing a lot of hard work. So right from the beginning, we started. Initially, it was in, say, rented facility, but now eventually we started building our own company, and it is now in Urali Kanchan, and now it is the total facility is developed, and all the fermentation facility, microbiology facility, natural product facility is there, and we have we want to have the farmers training facility also for hands-on training. Some people are coming here for the hands-on training, but we do all the things. And as I mentioned, that the service to the industry, service to other people, service to the scientists who are young entrepreneurs, they can come to us, they can bring their idea, having the MOU with us, and then we can take that idea up to market or something like that. So this is some sort of platform we have developed here. Now the different products, initially we started this Keto Gold, that is chitosan based, Shaktivan, this is photosynthesis enhancer, and Pushpa Gold is another product for the food for cut flour, etc. So that was the initial thing which we started with, and the results in the field, farmers are coming and taking the product, that means the results are good in the field. I mean, this is as simple as this. If it doesn't work in the field, farmers will not come to you. Now, as we develop these three technologies in NCL, main technologies, as an integrated pest management, we can say that in 2019, we approached NCL for licensing the technologies which we had developed. That is the micro-insecticide technology. Second was the enzyme-based product. And the third one is the chitosan. And all this is the integrated pest management, pest and pathogen management in agriculture field. And I am happy that we could license our own technologies. And I'm more happy that this is the first time Biochemical Sciences Division has the transfer of technology or licensing of the technology to the company. And now we are using these technologies for the further our growth and development. Actually, when in 2019 we thought that when we started this technology, we inaugurated this new facility also, and that time this Professor Vishwanatha from Vice Chancellor of Rahuri Krishi Vidyapit, because he himself came and he told me that usually he doesn't go for any commercial or industrial programs or something like that. But you are not industry person, you are professor first, and then you are starting this industry. That's why he specifically came for the inauguration of our company, and along with our the then director, Dr. Nangia from NCL, he also came for the inauguration. Then we started something about the mushroom production, because it is not only that these are the products, we have to have regular bread and butter. And so that bread and butter is coming from mushrooms. And we started that one. And then unfortunately, COVID-19 lockdown has come. That is the major setback. Because then mushroom production stopped, because every day you had to isolate, then we could not visit our company, etc. But somehow I managed not to, what should I say, let it down because of the COVID-19. I published one popular book with Dr. Hema Sane about the scientific analysis of corona. Then after this corona, immediately it came that mycosis. So I wrote one article in Maharashtra Times, because I have worked on this mucor-like dimorphic fungi quite a long. So then about the Bahurupi Burshi, that was also published. Then there is one magazine, that is Nurseryman Association magazine, where I published few articles, and one of them is Orchids, a color for pregnant family, where we can have the orchids, how orchid industry is important. That one also I mentioned. And one of my favorite article is on the mycology and mycotechnology on postal stamps. I mean, it is a total, I can say that a hatke article, because nobody really thought that such type of article can be written. This is about how these fungal organisms, or how these postal stamps or the special first day covers can be used for the education of common people. And in that one, unfortunately, not a single postal stamp is there of fungal organism from India, but all other countries, they have postal stamps. So I thought that maybe I should use this time, not just by sitting idle. So maybe I can have that sort of thing where I can survive myself in a positive mode. So these are the different products which we have, which we are having, right from the biofertilizers, biocontrol agents, then photosynthesis enhancers and others. One thing which I always maintain and which I wanted to have, that we should have R&D component, and without R&D it is very difficult for me as well as to Santosh, because Santosh is also scientist, so he has also come from that background. So it is very difficult for us to survive in the company, just do only production, other mundane type of work. So these R&D projects are there with us, and we have DSR recognition. So that is one thing which, again, I can appeal these young entrepreneurs that they can come to us with different ideas. So wide spectrum microbial pesticide useful in single crop system, that is one R&D project with NCL we have done. Development of wide spectrum biocontrol based on fungi and fungal enzymes. Then production of low viscosity chitosan and chitooligosaccharides, and cultivation of mushrooms. So now this is for enriched vitamin D. So, but we have also R&D projects where the scale up of production and validation of micro-insecticide. This is with Assam Agriculture University, and we got the ATGC grant for this collaborative program with Assam Agriculture University, Zorat. We have, I have long associated with Agartala Research Institute, and now we are trying to have nano-mediated rapid detection and biocontrol of downy and powdery mildew with Dr. Vandana Gormade. This is, we will do some enzyme production, etc. for this in this project. Organic tea production, this is one prestigious project which we are getting from Assam Agriculture University, that in that one we will use different formulations for the tea gardens, and tea gardens are huge, and it can really boost the production cycles, etc. Other collaborations are certainly with IIT Bombay, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith, and others. So these are the different R&D activities are also going on with us. One thing which, as I mentioned earlier, that it was quite difficult for researcher to go into entrepreneurship. This is because of the marketing. And the marketing strategy we have developed, that we have different groups of farmers, I can say, that they are doing marketing. For example, Us Sanjeevani Group or Survey Organics, Marvel Flora, all these people, they are working with us and they are doing marketing of our products. Okay, I mean, it is slowly but steadily we are increasing our production. So, second thing is that we certainly work and collaborate with different national research laboratories, agriculture universities for cutting edge technologies research. So, for example, recently we had some interaction, and which under that organic tea production, we are going to have nano formulations of different plant extracts as well as the different microbial extracts. Then establishment of platform, as I mentioned, that this is translational research in agriculture biotechnology, and we have done some services also with different companies. Consultation services, we have a good group of people like Professor Dr. Jamadagni from MPKV Rahuri. He is now retired, so he is a plant breeder. He is one of the consultants with us. Then Dr. Ajit Chandale, entomologist, he is also one of the consultants. And of course, Dr. Arun Prabhudesai, he has developed a Shaktivan product, that is plant photosynthesis enhancers, and he's also there with us. So, and we do contract research or customized manufacturing also. Farmers education lectures, that one my passion. So that one also we are doing. Now the some message to the entrepreneur, because I know that you are going to have this workshop for a long time, and then most of the people will talk about this. So I thought that my first thing is that I should give you the journey that how this researcher can become entrepreneur, both young as well as an old one like me and young like Santosh. And so translational research, you can have the startups. Government, there are number of programs we can find in government, that MSME program. Then biotechnology, that is a BIRAC grant, that is one thing. Biotechnology ignition grant. All this information you can certainly get online, as well as other people will certainly will give you information about this. PACE program is important. That is, we have AIR program with earlier with NCL, then contact research schemes. A contract research scheme where we have done toxicological studies about our myrothecium, that is the enzyme formulation, as well as of metarhizium. So this scheme also one can use. Then technology information, forecasting and assessment council, that is TIFAC of DST, that can also give support. There are non-government agencies also, but I mean, certainly one can try that way. Now, there are under venture, there are three different areas we can say, that venture capital, venture center, and third one is venture studio. So I just want to give the difference about all these three to you. When we talk about the venture funding, this is the funding which is given, that is a finance is given for business skills in order to obtain long-term capital gains by exploiting marketing opportunities. Advantages, certainly, as according to them, is opportunity for expansion of the company. Yes, that venture capital is important. Valuable guidance and expertise, but the cost is high. Helpful in building networks and connections. No obligation for repayment, really. But I don't know. It is not a repayment, but in a different way, repayment is done. Venture capitalists are trustworthy. I mean, that is advantage which is given on the net, and easy to locate. What are the disadvantages? Dilution of ownership, and that is that's one of the reasons why we started independently here. as a green venture biotech, because these venture capitalists, they have their main share in your company, and they have a long time to give the approval, etc. But anyway, that venture capital is one aspect which one can think when as a entrepreneur to start the new venture. This is venture center. And I shared this slide with Dr. Premnath long back when we had some discussion. So lab to market. So what we expect when we start the startup, what we expect that the venture center should give the support. This is expected by everybody, but we find that this is the situation. The startup person is learning cycle, and both the venture center is running with that person. So I don't expect this type of thing from venture center. I mean, this is a general comment. So this is the situation right now. Even it can change to that your startup, then venture center is taking advantage of your thing, and business development is also coming that. So this thing can happen. So it is always better that one can think about before starting anything with the venture center, try to make the terms and conditions very clear, so it will be useful eventually. It doesn't mean that the venture center working with the venture center is not good or something like that. It is in a lighter sense. I have just mentioned this, that the working with venture center can be sometimes problematic on the long term basis. So what we expect actually, we expect that a venture studio. What is venture studio? I mean, I'm really happy that this type of concept is also coming forward, that the initial team is provided for your work, because it is not possible for one person to do the research and do the production and again go for marketing, all sorts of things. So initial team is given, strategic direction and capital also. So all these things are given by venture studio. Then unlike venture capital approach, venture studios are closely working day by day in operations with you and strategic decisions also. So they grow. And I mean, I don't know. कसं मागं कसं जायचं just is the नाही जात नाही जस्ट स्टेक नाही मला ते पुढेच जाते अजून हा ओके नाही ठीक आहे सो ना ओके this is the difference in young entrepreneur and old entrepreneur. Anyway, Santosh has helped me to come out. So this is venture center, like a venture studio, where these people are coming and then finally one can win the race. So this is venture studio. And important point is that the employees can decide to stay in the portfolio of company, or they can return back to the studio to work on a new project or new startup. So it is, I think, win-win situation if we work in the venture studio. Actually, I had discussion with Dr. Deshpande about this, and I'm sure if such type of venture studio, if they can, agar research can develop, it will really be useful for most of the entrepreneurs and especially young entrepreneurs, because then all the peace of mind is there that somebody is there with me to take the project forward, and that sort of thinking, according to me, is important. So maybe Dr. Karthik can think about this. Now, when we start any company, there are two different aspects. Internal company analysis is important, and importance of market potential. So when we talk about market potential, then, or if you want to develop any new product, you have to see that whether your product is novel, what sort of, whether it has any demand, all sorts of things you have to think about. And the internal analysis of company analysis, of course, this is general aspect, that identification of company strengths and weaknesses. I mean, this is the one thing which is, according to me, is important, how they can be improved upon. So when we have more number of especially employees, then maybe this type of analysis is important. Most importantly, do you see a specific market niche that your company can fill in the market? And I think every 5 years or every 3 years, you have to think about this, and your same product cannot survive. So you have to upgrade that product, or maybe you have to identify the new product and identify the customer. And more important is that identify the competitor also. So there are different priorities. I thought that maybe I should just tell you that what are the different priorities which have some sort of commercial value. For example, endophytes as bodyguards. As I mentioned that the Metarhiza manusopli can be an endophyte, is endophyte which is important as which can be used as a bodyguard. So if we isolate endophyte from say custard apple, you can try to transfer in the another crop like say tomato and try to see that whether that endophyte works as bodyguard. Nano fertilizer and nano biopesticide, this is very new area, upcoming area, and it can reduce down the cost well and the volume also well. So naturally the manpower requirement is also low, etc. So these two areas, according to me, have a lot of potential. Biodiesel production, biofertilizer manufacturing, I mean these are the general ones, NPK, etc. Biopesticide manufacturing, so these are the areas, and compost fertilizer. Of course, I'm not expert in that. And specialty fungicides with novel targets. That is another aspect which is, according to me, is important. Then vaccine production against plant pathogens. I mean, this is in 1932, somebody tried in potato about the vaccination. And then afterwards, I don't know what are the what are the problems. But this is one thing which is important. Can we vaccinate the plant? Another approach is that maybe we can have the disease suppressive soils, etc. So can we make a cocktail which can use as a disease suppressive soil? So all the disease suppressive soil is one of the important areas, and is in Australia especially, these people are working on this disease suppressive soil. So these are the different areas one can think if one is interested in agriculture, biotechnology, one can think about this type of areas. Now, what Santosh used to say that should I go for it about entrepreneurship? And we had a lot of discussion on this aspect. Entrepreneurship, according to him, is an uphill task with bumpy ride. Struggle, it is a lot of struggle is there, challenges, many challenges are there, issues, too many issues are there, but it's enriching, enjoyable and rewarding journey. So go for it. That is Santosh suggested. And I would like to end this presentation as a discover your true north. In which area you want to work, what sort of research you are doing, and how that research you want to commercialize, and for your benefit as well as for the societal benefit. So that is, try to identify that, and it will be certainly useful. And if you identify independently, I can say that such type of workshop has given something to you. Now, with this, I would like to give the acknowledgement. And according to me, this slide is more important than the earlier presentation. I mean, my recent book has come as editor is Progress in Mycology. I mean, last month it has come. Last year, it has the Advance in Frontiers in Mycology and Mycotechnology has published by Springer. I would like to thank DBT Biotech and DBT per se, because DBT has given me a lot of boost in, yes, for example, that in wide spectrum biocontrol agent, DBT say, no, you should commercialize. And that was the thing which they gave us a lot of support, and that is, according to me, is important. DST also has given recognition, and DBT Biotech and collaborators of Assam Agriculture University, Agarkar Research Institute. But in addition to that, I would like to specially thank few people like Dr. Seema Wahab. She was deputy advisor, and she has given a lot of support and courage. And S.R. Rao, Dr. S.R. Rao from DBT again, he was advisor. And he is the person who has given me a lot of support. He has given me new ideas. Then from Swiss Development Corporation, Katrina Yeni and Gabriel Schachmeyer, because all these people, they have that sort of vision, which I did not have, maybe. And they supported that, okay, you go ahead with such type of idea and then microinsecticide. These are the people who pushed me that, yes, I should commercialize this microinsecticide. Business development from NCL, of course, I got a lot of support in that. I have a number of consultants are there, my friends, they are coming, they are giving advice, and marketing partners. So with this, I thank you all for your patient listening, and I hope that if you have any questions, I will be able to answer them. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for this bringing your entire journey from a scientist to entrepreneurship to being a successful industrialist. And we wish, it will be one of the topmost company in agricultural field. So there are many questions, sir, but I will take a few questions because of less time. One question is on how much time it took for your company to make profit?
I mean, okay. See, we are making profit. Profit is not the problem. But see, simultaneously you have to grow. So it is not necessary that you can use profit only for your growth or something like that. Again, you want to grow the company, you are putting that profit again back to the company. When 13 products are there with us, whatever we are getting, we are just putting back in the company. And we are somehow managing that one. In the lighter note, yesterday I had discussion with Dr. Karthik, and he said that next time, are you going to come in the Mercedes car and give talk? I said, yes, maybe next time I will come in Mercedes car. So that sort of profit is there, but at present, because of this COVID, I mean, I don't want to say again, same thing again and again. We lost almost 1.5 years on that. So again, the problem was that the microbial cultures, they got contaminated because we could not come to the company. And somehow we managed to again come back in this June, and we have started working again, and the production cycle has gone up. But if it would not have been there, that COVID-19, we would have done certainly a very good profit this year. But maybe after 2 years, if you ask me, rationally, I'll find that after 2 years, will be a profit-making industry.
Thank you, sir. There is another, there are many questions, but I restrict myself from asking all those questions, but I just want to combine 2 questions here. One is, how are you going to educate the farmers about your new product? That's one thing. And then second question, every day there is new product coming for the same utility, and how do we meet that market multiple product for the same thing?
Okay, actually this is a very good question. How to educate people, because people do not want to listen to you. Rather, I had very bad experience about the farming community. They will say, "Oh, you don't know anything." Then I started learning, and Santosh is from agriculture background, so Santosh knows very well. So what we do, now recently we had one farmers meeting. So we go there, and whatever questions they have, we answer. And about the product, because one thing is there, that the product development is done by most of the things, but the knowledge-based product development is done by very few. And that you have to tell this knowledge, how this microinsecticide, for example, is working against insect pests. That knowledge, if you give, then I think farmers, they listen to you. And now we are experiencing, the farmers are coming here, they are talking with us. And say, for example, nematode control, they are talking with us how nematode is controlled in soil, etc. So all these things, it is time consuming, but one has to do that one in any case. Now number of products are coming into market, and I don't want to talk anything about because it is not good also, talking about other products. But I can say that if farmer comes to me and he asks me, I said that, okay, this is the product which we have prepared and I know that this is working well. And if the farmer is happy with that one, then he uses that product, and whenever he gets good results, again he comes back, we get good feedback, and that is the encouragement which I feel that is important for us.
Thank you, sir.
But
sorry, there are many students in the chat section. I have asked whether they have any internship or they have any job at your company. So I have gave the link of your company, greenvention.in. Maybe you can, those who are interested to know about the work of Green Invention and then their products, and if there is any job availability, you can check there and approach the contact details.
Actually, they can come for the project also. They can come for the internship also. We have taken MSc students like that, and the students that they can come. They can. My email address is also there on the presentation, so they can write directly to me. And about the job opportunities, certainly we have these research projects. There are job opportunities. So let us see. I mean, how best we can interact and how best we can do that.
Okay, sir. Okay. Apart from this, there are many general questions, but we have sessions addressing each of this thing, like, how to write a proposal, where to approach and all those things. But we have the specific sessions for those things. So I will preserve those questions for the subsequent session. With this, we conclude these sessions, and I thank on behalf of ARI and PKC, Dr. Deshpande, for giving his wonderful lecture. Actually, it's not lecture, like it's kind of a last maybe 20 years of his life he shared with us.
Yes, 43 years.
Okay, sir. 40. Sorry for eating away another 20.
No, I'm looking young.
Okay.
Am I looking young?
Of course, sir. So, with this, we'll thank Dr. Deshpande and his team, and we wish a good luck for their company, and that they will make out that they will make this the year which they last 1.5 years very quickly. And as Dr. Falkar said, like, we want to listen to his lecture in Mercedes. He come to institute in Mercedes.
Yes.
Thanks. Thank you, sir. And for the audience, there are some announcement. Tomorrow we don't have 10:30 to 11:30 session. Please note, tomorrow we don't have 10:30 to 11:30 session, but we have 12 to 1 o'clock session. So please sign in for 12 to 1 o'clock session only. That is the first announcement. And then second announcement, please don't ask that, share the attendance link, because our course team will know when to share, and, so you don't have to worry about it. They will share it. Our technical team will do that. So don't worry about that. So we will share it. And if there is any other concern, please write to the PKC email from the same email what you got the link and all. So the same link will work for all the session. So please save the link and you can sign in. And also you can approach the voluntary WhatsApp group which was created by one of the participants for any other things. Thank you all for very active participation. And we will meet tomorrow at 12 noon. And bye-bye.
Thank you.